Hello, hi, my name is Heaven George, and I'm from Redlands, California, and I don't know, I'm making some videos for YouTube again. Basically, today's video is going to focus on my opinions, how I think white people have it easy in life. Yes, I do. Um, I don't know, these videos don't really have a format and how they're gonna be. I just like whatever I feel on the top of my head. Um, my current family, they don't really care about the stuff if they came from another country and stuff, so they're just happy to be in America. Well, we're in America, we should be happy just to be in America. They don't and exactly have the same views. I don't really know anybody that has similar views to me. I don't know, with my situation, I never really cared about the whole like black and white thing or other racial. I never really even had discussions like that. It was after my life, a lot of bad things happened in my life, then I started thinking about these things and stuff like that aren't really important. What was I gonna say? I don't think it's necessarily the color. I think it's more of the government in which they're born from. I'm not saying that okay, you're born in one color, your life is easier. No, I mean if this white person was born in Africa, in a poor family, I think there's going to be an advantage. So I think it's just because white people are born in rich countries. The reality is the whole world, like the number one, like freaking countries in the world is basically pretty much the ones that white people own. They don't necessarily have the number one economy because China is economy number two. So they technically, I think they do have white skin or light tan, too, but they're not. How to explain it? We call them Asian, East Asian. We call them Mongols or whatever, Mongoloid feature, whatever you call them. So they're not considered. Well, when we use the word white, yeah, it just means European people of European ancestry, basically Caucasian. Is basically what it means. I don't understand how all these continents get divided up. That's another topic. They say we have 7 continents. Or how is Antarctica a continent when all of it is ice? It's not even land. There's no dirt or mud or sand in Antarctica, but they consider it a continent. Why don't they just call it a piece of ice? Because that's all it is. It's 100%. It's ice. There's nothing else in Antarctica besides ice. But they count it as a continent. So when you say in America, how many continents we have? You say 7. That's kind of weird. The other thing is, the other one I have a problem understanding with continents, isn't it supposed to be like a divided piece? I understand South America is a continent because it's like one big piece of its own. And then in North America, it has like one big piece. Africa, it's like one big piece. But I don't understand how they divided Europe and Asia because it's like literally one piece. It's like connected together. I don't know how they even really divided it, but they did. They divided the difference between Europe and Asia right there. And they counted it as 2 separate continents. There's no dividing line. Okay. So anyways, what's another example of a dividing line? Australia is its own little island, so I understand why they consider that one piece. I thought, okay, that's another topic I'm going to be getting into, how they created this. I think it just means anything that has hard surface. And the one, I still don't understand the Europe and Asia, how they split those two, because it's really on the same land. Whatever. They just wanted to put a border with whatever they want to call it. What was I going to say about white people? I do think white people have it easier in life. Yes, I do. Not always. I mean, some of them have more difficult services. Yeah, well, they're predominantly born in first world, so that already, in itself creates a. But even in first worlds, I still think they have it easier, to be honest with you. I do think they get let off. I do think the criminal justice system goes soft on them. I do think it could be due to lawyers, or it could be due to, what do you call it? Just, a police officer, if he sees someone that's white, he's just not going to check their car. Example, when, usually it was like stop and frisk, and what do you call it? The car search. Or search warrant, stuff like that. Like, cops are more likely to, do that stuff with, other races and not white people. Actually, Chinese, East Asian stuff, they don't have as much, they actually turn out better than white people when they come to America. Not all of them. There's certain. It depends which particular country from the Mongoloid East Asia area. But I know that with China and like Japan, which is those are really big continents, and they have a really big percentage here. Wikipedia, I'm not sure how accurate they are because they don't count. Like example, when they say like America is 10% black or something like that, they don't count every single black person in the United States. They just take a survey. They even in the American population, they don't count each person that's in this country. Yes, they have everybody's birth certificate or citizenship status. They do have it in file, but supposedly it costs too much money to count all of these one by one. So they prefer what do you call it? Oh shit! I think I'm on the. Is this the right camera? Is the wrong one? This is FaceTime HD camera. I don't know if I should stop it or if I should just keep going because this is not the good video. This is the other video that I have. Anyways, yeah. So how certain races, I believe, have it easier or harder than me. Where was it? Anyway, so like the cops, they don't like stop them as much and stuff like that. They also get more helping programs and things. If they get into trouble or whatever, they're more likely to get more. Example, if they're like a drug addict, they're more likely to get rehabilitated, and their parents are more likely to help them out, stuff like that. They have more money. Also, you know, like I said, more money for lawyers to help them reduce sentencing, so they get lighter sentences. So not only with just educationally, but my opinions on, I don't really believe America is racist. Like, I know that on TV, they're like, oh, well, especially with the criminal justice system or the education, they use the word racism as the national, like, not everybody believes this. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you'll read a book or something. Like, I'll watch, like, book TV on C-SPAN, and then they'll start talking about, like, racism. I don't really believe racism really exists. I believe stereotyping exists, which is technically stereotyping is almost like racism, but not exactly. It's more so avoiding people than it is breaking the law. Like racism is almost like breaking the law, whereas like stereotyping is more so stereotyping is more so like your preconceived notion, just beliefs that are in your mind, basically, and then in certain situations or with certain types of people, you'll obviously display it. But I mean, I don't think it's I think it's a minor problem. I don't think it's a major issue. Or it's just my feelings on white people, how I think that they have it easier in life. I do think they have it easier in life. I'm not saying all of them have it easy. I do think black people have it the hardest in life. Yes, I do. I do think they have it the hardest in life because they, like, literally, I mean, ultimately, it's genetics. If you have good, you know, if you're, like, Obama's daughter, I don't think they have it hard. I don't think Obama has it hard. Yeah, he picked a very stressful job and stuff. Like, you can see his face. He's looking all old now and everything like that. He has not done surgery. It's very clear. Yeah, his job has really stressed him out. His hair is all gone all gray and everything like that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to, like, trash out people's appearances. God made us all beautiful, yes. But, you know, he picked that job. That was his fault. You want to pick that job like that. The point is, no, I do think if you're, like, black and you have money, I don't think you have a hard life either. Once you have money, because I think that's ultimately, I mean, am I saying that rich people have it easier in life? Maybe I should do my own separate video about rich people or whatever. I think like more I'm doing racial mixture rather than sticking on the topic of white and how I think they have it easy. I think part of it is money. Probably most of it. The society in which they're born in, the countries in which they originate from, the traditions, the support, their preference for each other. It's the way that it is. People, this, they're, blah, blah, blah. On the job, they're more likely to hire each other, be friends with each other. People are generally friends with their own races, meaning if you're Mexicans, you're friends with other Mexicans. If you're black, you're friends with other black people. If you're white, you're friends with other white. That's pretty much, I mean, I understand for marriage, because that's how, that I don't see anything wrong with it on a marital aspect. Friendship, that's fine too. If you want to be like, usually they end up living in little neighborhoods like that anyway. So that's what you end up is you're kind of forced into that type of situation because that's what you end up near. I'm not saying people are racist by doing that. It's your opinion. It's what you want to do. I'm just saying, I do think white people have it easier in life as I do. I do think people let them slide. I do think they get slid off when they make mistakes and trouble. I think that other races, depending on what race, I think they get penalized extra, basically for being ugly. An unwanted race just being ugly. I think that's probably the main reason why people don't like white people. They just think that they're ugly. It's just like it's not happy to look at. Like when you're near, on top of them having really bad statistics in comparison to everyone else, it's rather similar. I'm not saying anyone's really major. I think humans are similar. It's about white people. I'm talking more about the difference between white and black. I just feel like like I said, I don't really believe in racism. I just feel like, well, the person that's doing my harassment campaign is probably white. I don't know, but it's a guess. Most likely a white man. So this is why this issue is kind of an interest to me. I don't know. After this all happened, I started getting interested a little bit in this topic about differences of color. I've been watching a lot of Young Turks. The Young Turks, a YouTube channel or whatever. I mean, off and on. I probably watched over 10,000 hours. I've been really into that show, actually. Over 1,000 hours. I've really watched that. I've really watched the show a lot. I don't know. They just have a lot of random topics. It's not really that religious, so if you're like a really religious person or something like that, I'm not recommending you to watch that show because it's a little bit secular. Like the guy who owns it is an atheist, so also there's biases. It's like the reason he has that show. He has the ability to go on TV, but he chooses not to. Like meaning he has worked for like a news station like MSNBC. He has that ability, but he chooses not to because he has a lot of opinions, basically, that I don't know, this is his interest. He likes to focus on stuff that the TV won't sell. And so, yeah, that's how you guys on the channel. Anyways, there's a little bit of stuff. It's not always the most religious, so you have to kind of careful what you click on. Anyways, I'm not making any recommendation. I'm just telling you what I watched. So the point is, my life experience is really traumatized. It made me think about this issue as a whole. What was I going to say about life in general? Yeah, life, I don't know, white people, I'm not even saying that they're stuck up. I'm not saying that they think that they're better than anyone. I just think that they're less likely to, blame, their people for whatever. I don't know. I just, I feel, I don't know. It's not like I'm saying I don't like white people or anything like that. I'm not saying I hate them or anything like that. I'm not racist I just, because I know I put a different video, my other video I put about how I thought that, said how my area has a bunch of Hispanics. There's a lot of white people in my area too. Actually, if you Google or Wikipedia the demographics of our area and check the page out, you will see that probably California technically has more white people, but it's almost like 50%. It's almost split in half, where like pretty much like 30% are Hispanics, and then like the other 40% are white, and then the other races are maybe 50% white and like 40% Hispanic, and then it's like all other races after that. I mean, no, maybe that's too high. 40% white, 40% Hispanic. I don't know, but it's almost split in half with those two, basically. And the other races are a very small minority. And Blacks technically are like the third most common race, and then the fourth would be Asians, I guess. Asian. Um, they count Middle Easterns as white on the census. I'm not joking. That's actually not Pakistan though. Pakistan is considered Asian because they're part of India would be considered Asian under. It's not just the continent because Saudi Arabian would be considered Middle Eastern even though they'd be considered Arabic descent. And I'm not joking. I think on the census they literally will put down white. They put down Caucasian. I don't know why they do that, but that's the way the law allows. You know, there's Hispanic people who claim that they're white or they have like white ancestry. There's things like that too. No, but with the Arabics, I think they consider literally North Africa. I'm not sure about Egypt if they would be considered Africa or I know that they're Arabic, but I mean the Northern African people they're actually Arabic, but I think on the census they can write down white, legally speaking or not. I don't know if it's African or Asian. I don't know about that one. Where would they put that? I'm not sure. I know that with Saudi Arabia, like Middle Eastern stuff, they can put down white on the census, even though they have like tan skin. They can put that. I don't know why, but they can. I don't know if I'll get more information on the racial classification of how our country is set up. Basically, yeah. So yeah, being white, I do think. I'm not saying that they're smarter. I don't believe there is a smarter race. I don't believe there's a smarter or dumber race or anything like that. I do know that statistically, certain races turn out better than others. Obviously, the ones that turn out the best are East Asians. Like even I think Indians actually do better in America than white people. But then again, like I said, the statistics they're adding in the white or Caucasian category, I think they consider Middle Eastern as white, and so that could be lowering their scores. I know that sounds. I'm not sure. I have to double check. I know that with Hispanic, they have the white Hispanic or the Hispanic non-white Hispanic. You have to differentiate between the two. But okay, I think most of them they consider themselves Hispanic, and they're not in the white category. But I know that like with Brazil, they do with the white. Like they go based on skin color, not necessarily even your original true background. So they're not really their statistics not that accurate or something. Like example here, if you're half white, half black, well you can put both. You can put white and black on their thing, but generally you have a right to just put black. It's your opinion what you want to do. It's based on what you want to put down. I don't know if it's based on opinion of what you want to put down or if it's based on what's. I mean, ultimately, what you are is what you are. But I'm not. I don't know. The racial sense, I'm not sure. That's another topic I'm probably confusing you with. But what was I gonna say about white people? Yeah, I think that white people, I don't know. I just like at this point, I'm not saying that they're spoiled. I'm not saying that they steal from people. I'm not in any way saying that they're criminals. I think they get let off. I honestly do believe they have an easier life than a lot of people. You be like, oh, you know, richness doesn't buy happiness, or being in first world doesn't. Yeah, I didn't say anything about happiness. I didn't say anything about happiness. I just said, I think they turn out better in terms of their educational financial output. I don't think they're fair, you know, with the criminal justice system, and I think they like the racial difference and divide. I don't think they care about equalizing the system anymore at this point, unless it's an issue involving their situation. I know that the black community does not care about my issue. I get harassed by black people all the time. My family don't, you know, they don't care about this whole racial type situation stuff. I guess they never felt like it affected them in any way, so they don't really care about this issue, but I don't know. Me, I started thinking about it, I guess, after my life and how I was harassed severely to the point where I was being treated like a criminal. Saying is, yeah, I mean, black people, you gotta work toward. I believe yes, you have to. You could be like, it's just the family structure. I mean, I feel like white people they also have a better like family. They're more likely to be married. They're more likely to be educated when they're married, meaning they get married when their education is finished. Not like see some people they get married before they get their education, and that's not a good thing either. I know a lot of times the statistics they like to focus on like out of wedlock pregnancies and stuff. Oh yeah, that definitely makes your life a lot harder. And I'm not even gonna disregard that. But also education, having your education like finished after you go get married is not good either. It makes it stressful during your marriage and your relationship and stuff like that. It makes the process harder and slower. So, like with white people, they're just more likely to have their financial situation kind of prepared when they get married, things of that nature. Um, they're more likely to get married in general. They're in better neighborhoods, lower crime rate areas, blah blah blah. Um, this is their country, their original foundation, and stuff like that. They come from inheritance of tradition of being respected for, a few hundred years, stuff like that, where all these other races, this huge civil rights movement just came in within like 1950, 1960s when people had like real equality where people could get like jobs. I remember 1970, probably around 1970, where everybody could get a job, even for women, women started getting jobs. Women didn't used to get jobs back in the day, so like, it was not common for women to have jobs until like probably around 1950, 1970, somewhere around that time, where most women now have jobs. Back in the days, it was not common. I don't know, maybe 10%, 20% of women might have had a job, but it wasn't common. So, there's like that evolution for other races and things of that nature. That's why for white people, it is slightly easier in my opinion because they've already been here, they've established themselves. This is their territory. They're the majority. Well, not really. Now a lot of these ethnic minorities are taking, but the white people, they have the position of power and control. They have the better jobs. They have the higher education, stuff like that. And not other races have it. Now, a lot of races have education. They're not. I'm not saying in any way. It's not about being dumb or smart. It's the fact that a lot of ethnic minorities they're in a mild disadvantage to begin with, and that they're coming here from they have to start from scratch. They weren't here originally, and they have to assimilate to the culture and figure it out and stuff like that. Or they don't have a lineage of power like originally and stuff like that, inheritance and culture passing down, blah blah blah, stuff like that. And so that's why a little bit they're sometimes behind. But then you say to yourself, why do the East Asians not turn out well? Or sorry, not why do the Asians? Why do they turn out better than the white people in terms of finance? They have also lower crime rates. So like more powerful position. They actually have a higher marriage rate, lower divorce rate. So actually, the East Asians they actually turn out the best in these first world statistically. I don't know. I don't know if they're mostly Christian or Buddhist or Hindu. I don't know, but they actually turn out better than the white people. Not always. I'm sure if you go to Koreatown or Chinatown, you'll see a lot of them minimum wage or illegal immigrants and all that. So I didn't say all of them. I didn't say most of them. It's just saying like mild differences statistically. I could put a different video on that. That's just culture. They're not even the original. They immigrated here. Those are not like they were. So what's the excuse for them? Why is it they? For them, my excuse for that is their culture. They come from is probably more disciplined and structured to begin with, which I don't think all these races necessarily have. I don't really care at this point. I just want my life fixed. I don't give two shits. I don't care what race I am, as long as my life is together, because it really doesn't matter. Ultimately, all it is skin color. It doesn't make you a better person or worse person or anything, because ultimately it's just skin color. But your governmental history, your politics, like your structure, your culture, your environment, it does play a mild. It's not everything. A mild factor to how your life's gonna play out. But you can change it and you can turn out better than whatever your statistics are, better than your family, or better. You can always be better than whatever you came in from, because America can do whatever you want. But yeah, that's my opinion. I believe to be facts on white people and how I feel they have it easier in life. Generally, and I know there's some people that have really hard lives. This isn't for all the white people out there. Some of them they have, painful, very bad life. No, cancer, they're gonna die or something like that, or or they're just really bad life stuff. So you never know. But I would say generally they have a mild advantage. But ultimately, if they destroy themselves, if they make stupid decisions, if they make bad ideas, then they're gonna have trouble like everybody else. So it's what they want to do with it, ultimately. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't say that they're better or worse. People, I do think they have it easier in life. Yes, I do. Not always, but a lot of times I do think they have it easier than a lot of other races. Yeah.